Assalamualaikum warahmatullah guys. Welcome back to our program. Today we will be looking at the United Nations Social Development Goal number 8, and that is about entrepreneurship. And my question here is there any takeaways from Islamic finance? So before that, I would like to say Idul Adha, Salam Idul Adha, Salam Hari Korban to everyone, although belated one. We are now in the 14th of Zulhijjah. So we presume that the Hajj pilgrims have already completed their Hajj, and many may be moving on to Medina. Some may still be staying at Mecca. And we know very well that the height of the Hajj is the wukuf at Arafah, and after which there will be Korban or animal sacrifice in the day of Tashriq. Of course, those people who are not performing Hajj, we have also some obligation to undertake voluntary fasting during day of wukuf, as well as to participate in the Korban. Yes, in the Korban we can see that, for example, in Malaysia, that we can either do it locally or we can do it outside the country. Of course, there are so many sponsors or so many activity where the Korban is undertaken outside Malaysia, in countries like Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Indonesia, Africa, in Palestine, and of course this is a very good and significant event in our religion, and some of us do the Korban locally. But generally, we will see that, especially in Southeast Asia, the cost of the Korban is much less expensive than in Malaysia. So many of our Muslim brothers and sisters would prefer to do their Korban in countries like Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Indonesia, because the cost of 1/7 of the livestock is about half of that in Malaysia. So that is one reason why we see a lot of the Malaysian people doing Korban outside the countries. And it is very well known that doing Korban in Malaysia is quite expensive, double what we have seen elsewhere. And even some of these livestock were imported from neighboring countries. Livestock like cows, cattle, and goats were imported, from neighboring countries and to be sold in Malaysia. So what is the reason behind the problem of livestock farming in Malaysia, that we are not competitive, we are so dependable on imports, and many people are discouraged to see such a high price of local livestock, that they prefer to do the Korban, elsewhere. And there must be some answers to this question, because in the longer run, we want Malaysia to be a place where the making of Korban is less expensive, and such that the distribution of the Korban meats, will be enjoyed by the locals, because we have B40 people, meaning that 40% of the population are in the bottom, and so they need, this kind of contribution, and if nothing is done to elevate this issue, then we will see that many people will not be interested to do Korban. Even my mosque in Gombak here, there are only three cattle for Korban. So we have quite a big community, but only 3 cattle. And what is happening? That no people does it mean that people are very poor, that they can't afford to do Korban? So I presume that it has something to do with the expensive cost, of Korban in Malaysia. So there's a need for us to look at what are the factors behind this situation. Many have listed the factor, one of which is there's not enough land for the cattle to basically to graze, and we depend a lot on the imports. The pellets for the livestock are very expensive, and the low ringgit is not helping either. So I don't think that would be the main reason why we are such in a sad situation now. We have in Malaysia Mardi, that helps that assists the commercial farming, and I think they have enough resources over there, to provide enough inputs how the livestock industry can be elevated from what it is today. So that is why I was looking at SDG number 8, which is related to business enterprise and entrepreneurship, and how can Islamic finance be able to contribute to provide the respective resources to help entrepreneurs able to develop this commercial farming for the country. So Islamic finance, as we know, is rich with the funding contract of Mudarabah and Musyarakah, and we have contract of Salam, we have contract of Muzara'ah, which Islamic finance can leverage on. And I think it is time for Islamic finance to provide some sort of a surprise to the United Nations. How would the Islamic finance industry is able to provide new ways to elevate and to rejuvenate the entrepreneurship in commercial farming that will enhance the achievement of the SDG number 8. As for now, I would say that there's a lot of work need to be done, and Islamic finance has not been able to provide the necessary input. There is no Mudarabah footprint, there is no Musyarakah footprint, no Salam footprint, in Islamic finance, and that is quite a disappointment. We do hope that this will open the eyes of those who are responsible to undertake Islamic finance to a new level, especially in the agricultural sector. Okay guys, we can stop here, inshallah. I will continue with the next video. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.